With shoulder press, you want to make sure that everything in a line. So you want to make sure that your wrist directly above your elbow and your elbow in line with your shoulder. Not like this, not like that, straight. As a stage 4 cancer survivor, consistency hasn't always been linear for me. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to not only train myself, but train clients, and had to go through the process of rebuilding my body from scratch more than one time. Most recently, severely low B12 levels, despite eating 4,000 plus calories a day, had me struggling to keep on 135 pounds. But now that I've stabilized my B12 with self-administered injections every 10 days, it's time to start back training. Now, I've been out of the gym for over a year, more like a year and a half, close to 2 years by this point. So instead of trying to hide that fact, I'm documenting it. For the next 90 days, I am basically rebuilding from scratch. I'll be training at home with full transparency, minimal equipment, and no fancy gym. This isn't a transformation series. This is proof that with a little willpower and consistency, you can change the direction of your health and physique by just starting at home. So let me get started. Well, it's Mongdal here, and I hope everybody doing good. I doing a whole lot better, as you can see. Things working out as planned. And let me tell you something, there is only 2 weight training days in the first week. And I'm talking about lightweight training days because this is the second day of training I'm going to show you, the second weight training day. And I try to do stiff leg deadlifts. Well, a bridge between stiff leg and Romanian. And let me tell you something, I could remember doing this thing with 225 pounds for 12 reps on a deficit. So I used to stand on like 2 plate heights and do 225 pounds for reps. And a 25 pound bar had me catching my ass to make 5 reps. 5, it takes me like about 30 seconds to get 5 reps. What actually going on? My glutes not activating enough. My lower back tight because it's taking all the tension off my glutes. My hamstrings tight and my calves tighter than tight. So doing a movement like this, where you're literally stretching all them fibers from the ground up, you're feeling that stretch from your calves, from your hamstrings, when you reach the bottom, your glutes. So that was a tough thing for me to do because for the last year and a half to 2 years, all I have been doing when I'm not working in the shop is sitting down on a chair like this and behind the computer. So that's sitting down. That if you have a problem or if you have a job that have you sitting down for the majority of the day, if you're sitting for, let me say, 6 to 8 hours a day, you're behind a desk, this is something that you want to do, even without weight. So everybody tell you, you could touch your toes. This is something that you want to do. You want to be able to move them muscles, and as you can see, I try my best to keep my back as flat as possible. I'm trying to keep my knees locked in a position when I'm going down. So normally with a deadlift, you will bend your knees more than that. A stiff leg and Romanian deadlift don't mean that you're not bending your knees. It means that you're locking your knees in a position above where you will normally let your knees travel to in a normal deadlift. So I try my best to do that, and while you're doing that, the goal is to push your knees a little more outward. So that is what I'm focusing on, and you could see the pain literally in my face right there, yeah, with a 25 pound bar. Right? I never feel so bad in my life. Sticking to the program because this was this was literally a challenge, a serious challenge. So sticking to the program, I end up doing 3 sets of 5 reps. And that was the hardest 5 reps I ever got in my life, for all 3 sets. The bar initially supposed to be a warm-up, and then I'm supposed to move on to working weight, but boy, wait. That bar feel like 100% of my max. Now, if you notice in this last set here, right, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to keep my shoulders, my hands with the bar in a straight line all the time. With the previous sets, if you want to go back and watch it, you could see that what I was trying to do is I'm trying to keep the bar as close to me as possible. With this last set now, I'm trying to push the bar in line with my shoulders. So keep everything in a straight line. That will put more tension on your glutes, on your hams. Now, right after that, we head into some kneeling shoulder press. And why I choose to do kneeling shoulder press is because I wanted to activate my core a little more. Now, I'm having problems with squats and deadlifts with mobility in my hip flexors. So my hip flexors not opening up enough. They don't have that flexibility that it used to have. So that's the reason for doing kneeling dumbbell press. In that kneeling position, you need to activate your glutes. You need to squeeze your glutes enough so that your core will be activated for you to keep upright, to keep your chest up, and to press the weight over your head. And although it might look like I'm holding my breath, I'm not holding my breath. That is just me making weird faces. I was actually breathing through my nose throughout the entire course of the set. Setting up with this is one of the most important things. With shoulder press, you want to make sure that everything in line. So you want to make sure that your wrists directly above your elbow and your elbow in line with your shoulder. The most important point is to make sure that when you set up, everything aligned. Not like this, not like that, straight. So working sets on these, I think I do 3 sets of 5 also. You try to stick to the program today. I tell you, after that first exercise, after that deadlift, I wanted to cry. Right after we do the shoulder presses, we move on to 2 sets to failure of push-ups. And I'm going to tell you, push-ups is something that I always love to do. It was the first exercise I do in my life, and this is a humbling experience because I used to do sets of 50, sets of 60. Now the first set, I was satisfied with. The first set I get over 10, I think I get around 12. So I was satisfied with the first set, to be honest with you. Now coming back, first time doing this in about 2 years, and as you could see, I could use some work on my form still. If we analyze this form here, you could see that my wrists not in line with my elbows. If you analyze this form here, you could see that my wrist more inside. Now this form is what going to make you get elbow impingement and shoulder impingement. When your wrists tucked in closer than your elbows, this is where you will put yourself at risk for getting impingement in your elbows. So this is where you will get elbow tendonitis. So when you do push-ups and you feel like your elbows hurting you, this is what the reason why. I felt confident after I do that first set and I get 12 reps, right? I was like, yeah, I'm going for our next 12 again. You ever hear people jinxing themselves? I have a reputation for jinxing myself, for saying things that I'm going to do and it never happened. And this is proof right here. Let me check them reps, right? Alright, set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come, let me go. 6. You get? 7. Alright, yeah. Do a little stretch. Try to make myself look cool, like I just didn't feel. I forget, you know that's the habit you just have in the gym, right? When you feel something, you try to make a cool pose. So you don't look like you actually feel. You do like you intentionally do that. So yeah, that what that pose was. That wasn't me, feeling. That was me stretching. For the final exercise, 2 sets, pull-ups of failure, and if the first time wasn't bad enough, the first day of weight training wasn't bad enough, well, look, see for yourself. So you're going 1, 2, 3, forms out of fail. Come on, and dice it. 3. 3 reps of pull-ups from a man who used to strap a 45 plate around his waist and do 12 reps. It's alright to cry, man. And for the last set, because I was trying to see if I can get more reps this way, I do a underarm grip set up pull-up. And you could see I was struggling to do this one because I wasn't even going all the way down. So on the last rep, I tried to do the look cool thing, do a little stretch, a little dead hang. So I ain't failed. That was a strategic plan to reach that point to do the dead hang. Always remember that, right? Especially when you're training in public. Now, this was the second weight training day, but the first week of training. Honestly, I wanted to train at least 3 days that week, but the soreness I felt from doing this kind of light exercises was surprising to say the least. I was really surprised because I was expecting that the little bit of weight I had at my disposal and what I remember being able to do in the past in the gym like a year ago, I was saying, hey, I wouldn't be able to train home because the weight wouldn't suffice. And this just goes to show you that certain people, or the majority of people, when they first enter the gym, you try to progress too fast. Now remember, the whole thing at gym, the whole thing at training, the whole thing again, bigger again, smaller again, more muscular, is progressive overload. If you go in from day one, week one, month one, and try to lift the same weights that you see somebody in the gym lifting who there for about 5-10 years and they lifting and you try to lift that and you try to break that necessary progressive overload that you need for your body, you're not going to reach your goals. You're going to start to use other muscles. You're going to start to compensate in other ways. You're going to start to break your form and not actually focus on doing the things that you need to do, but rather push the weight. And you're going to find a way to push the weight. Because if you look at certain things, that have fellas in the gym, they will come there for 2 months. And in about a month or two, you see them pushing 60, 80, up to 100 pounds. And it's not to take the fact that they're strong. Yes, they're strong, but the proper movement you're not doing. You're not actually using the weight properly. You're not moving the weight with your muscle. Let me take your chest, for instance, right? I have a hard time connecting with my chest, and the majority of people do, because your shoulder are overpowering. My shoulder is one of the most powerful muscles in my upper body. When you do a bench press, especially when you're watching around the gym and you see everybody doing 225, you want to reach 135 as fast as possible, but you don't even know how to properly handle the bar. You don't even know how to properly transfer that weight from the floor. Listen to what I say. Now you lie down on a bench. You don't know how to properly transfer that weight from the floor. Lock your shoulder blades and move your chest alone. You know? Let your chest do the moving, not your shoulders. So you see the difference there, right? And I know it's hard to hear me because I'm moving my hand. This is locking your chest and moving your chest. And this is just moving your shoulders. This way I could move real weight. I could go back in the gym now and bench press 225 like that. But actually moving the weight through the muscle that you're working is a difficult thing. It is take more than strength. You might have the strength to move 135 pounds, but the mind-muscle connection of moving 135 pounds from your chest, you're not able to do that as yet. You might be able to do 90 pounds. You might be able to do 100 pounds. But you have to understand where I'm coming from, right? So even though I'm in this thing for, let me say, 10 plus years now, it's so surprising to me how little you actually need to progress. Because listen to what I'm saying. 2 days of training, 2 weight training days. I wanted to do even cardiovascular training on the days off, and I didn't do it. This is 2 days of training. And you could see, right, 2 days of training at home, what you could be able to do once you have your nutrition in check and once you're doing the things that necessary. Give yourself proper time to rest. Give yourself proper training schedules. So don't go in there and take up 80 pounds and start to lift one time. And this is another video I plan to do in the future. We need to talk about why I think, and this is something that I never believed in the past, why I think for a beginner, starting to train at home, even if you have no equipment but a pull-up bar, even if you have no equipment but a pair of dumbbells, why starting to train at home is the best thing for most people who want to get into fitness for the real purpose of fitness. If you want to lose weight, if you want to gain muscle, because the mental strain at training in a gym is something that people already talk about. And we need to talk about that in our next video, but for now, we're going to wrap this one up here. It's Mongdal. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you stick to the end, I love you forever. Especially if you like the video. So come now, man. Like it. Right? And I'm going to see everybody in the next one. Later.